South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our racebook is completely separate from the sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
Born from the tragedy of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation is committed to helping our nation's heroes and their families in their darkest hours. When a first responder or veteran doesn't return home and leaves behind a young family, Tunnel to Towers supports them. The foundation pays off their mortgages and lifts their financial burdens through their Gold Star Family Home Program and Fallen First Responder Home Program. Through their Smart Home Program, catastrophically injured veterans and first responders regain their independence with a mortgage-free home, specially adapted to meet their unique physical needs. Tunnel to Towers also provides housing assistance and services to our nation's homeless veterans through their Homeless Veteran Program. They are helping more than 2,000 in 2023 because no veteran should be living on the streets of the country they signed up to protect. Join Tunnel to Towers on its mission to do good and never forget 9/11 or the sacrifices made by our nation's heroes. Donate $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the racebooks and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning. Button is on. Okay, take two. Welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio program for this Wednesday. We come to you live and direct from the gaming capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, right here at our studio station, home base, at the South Point Studios, at the South Point Hotel Complex on the Las Vegas Strip here in Las Vegas Boulevard in Las Vegas, Nevada, your gaming capital. We welcome you to the show, and if you want to see us and hear us on our new gig here, you can do that by going to YouTube and go to South Point Studios, and there we are. We'll be right there for you, and of course, as we are this morning. And if you haven't subscribed already, do that when you're there. Love to have you on. It's free. You just hit subscribe, and you'll be there for free. So we welcome all of you folks out there watching and listening to us on the YouTube channel on our South Point Studios network. And, of course, all the other places that we have, all of our other platforms that we get to you, like our home base here as far as our radio stations here in Las Vegas, KSHP 1400 AM and 107.1 FM if you're listening to us, maybe in the car, on the way to work or whatever. And, of course, we have our streaming at our websites, racedaylasvegas.com, .vegas, .world, .global. We got them all. You can hear us on the streaming there. And, of course, on your devices, your iPhones, Androids, just get the KSHP app at your app store. You can hear us on your devices. And if you're listening on podcasting, you do that as well. We're on podcasting all over the place. So however, wherever, whenever, welcome to the Race Day Show for this Wednesday as we kick off another week covering the great sport of thoroughbred racing, Las Vegas style. I can tell you this, we are getting some goofy weather this winter here in Las Vegas. Now, right now, it's foggy out there. When I got out of the house, I couldn't see 10 feet in front of me in the fog until I got down further here near lower levels here on the strip. But it's been foggy. The last 2 days has been raining steadily, not hard, but just steady rain throughout the day and throughout the evening. And we've still got a few remnants of rain coming through here, and then we should be clearing up by the end of the day. And then through the rest of the week, it should be clear here with very small chances of getting some rain. All that rain from that big stream that's going through Southern California and making its way through Arizona, et cetera. We catch a little bit of it up here. And of course, the rain continues to play havoc in Southern California, that's for sure. But those systems will be moving out. And so right now, if you're in Las Vegas and you look out the window, you're not going to see much because it's still foggy out there in certain places here in Las Vegas. That's the weather. Right now here it's 47 degrees. It's going to get up to 63 today. It's going to be the temperature range for the rest of the week here in Las Vegas. As far as the rest of the nation is concerned, well, I can tell you this, that system is starting to clear out now in Southern California, but there's still got a lot of moisture going through there, all up and down the California, all up and down the West Coast, really, including Washington and Oregon, and of course, clear the rest of the way through the entire contiguous 48 until you get up to the Great Lakes area. They got some action going on there. Otherwise, it's pretty clear around the country today for horse racing. Of course, Southern California isn't racing today, and of course, we were, emphasizing and talking about how the weather has affected Southern California racing in really in drastic ways in the last couple of years. And they were talking about, well, who's making these decisions as far as whether the horses can run on sloppy and off tracks or not? A lot of people think it's the new HISA regulations, which it very well may be, but just think of this. They didn't run in Southern California because it was raining, etc., but yet they ran at Gulfstream Park in a driving rain. They ran at the fairgrounds in sloppy racetracks. And at Turfway Park, they ran the first 4 races in a snowstorm before they couldn't see anymore and finally canceled there. So I don't know so much if it's the HISA regulations or the individual regulations in the individual states and their racing boards. We'll have to talk about that. And we know that California is real strict now, individually in the state of California, for those racing actions. And of course, with the fairgrounds and the racetracks in Texas going through a lawsuit with HISA, they're not even paying attention to the HISA regulations right now. But HISA does cover the other tracks like New York, et cetera, that was running in the slop. So, it's a hit and miss thing, that's for sure. And we'll wait and see as far as players and the horsemen in Southern California. They can't even get on the racetrack to train their horses, and these horses are getting to where you can't stay racing fit by just jogging underneath the shed row. So we'll wait and talk about that a little bit later with John Lindo. Jonathan Hardoon will be here. I'm sure he has something to say about these conditions when we hit the soapbox with him. Rich Eng is going to try to get us tuned up for March Madness coming with the college hoops action. And, of course, John Lindo, of course, as I said, will be here with Southern California. And Jerry J. will be along again with another betting strategy for you as well on this Wednesday show. Now, looking ahead towards this weekend, the big races are going to be at Oak Lawn Park. 4 big stakes races there, 2 Grade 2s, a Grade 3, and another stakes race on tap there. The Rebel Stakes, part of the Arkansas Derby Series, will be the big one for the 3-year-olds. It'll hold 50 points for the Kentucky Derby leaderboard. The Honey Bee Stakes for the 3-year-old fillies will hold 50 points for the Kentucky Oaks. And then, of course, you'll have the Carousel as well, and the Razorback, which will highlight the handicap horses. Coming up on Saturday as well will be the Saudi Cup, a half a world away. The Saudi Cup, of course, a $20 million race, and a lot of other races on the undercard there for the Saudi Cup. There's going to be big races. On Friday, the racetrack in Saudi, the Saudi racetrack, will hold the International Jockey Challenge, where they're inviting jockeys from all over the world to compete in an International Jockey Challenge. It'll be 4 races. Each race will be worth $400,000, and then they'll amass the points in that Jockey Challenge there. That'll happen on Friday at Saudi, and then, of course, on Saturday, the big race there for $20 million. And as far as any of the other racing around the country, Aqueduct, Gulfstream Park, and, of course, Santa Anita we'll all have races on Saturday, stakes races as well as Turfway Park. And Laurel Fairgrounds in Tampa Bay will kick in with a couple of stakes races on Saturday. As far as Sunday's concerned, Aqueduct and Santa Anita will come back with another stakes race each there. But for the looking ahead to the Kentucky Derby, the big point getters for the Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Oaks this weekend will be, of course, the Kentucky Oaks will have the Honeybee on Saturday. Also, on Friday at Meydan Racecourse in Dubai, they'll have the UAE Oaks. That'll come up on Friday. That'll have 50 points for the Kentucky Oaks leaderboard as well. So you got those two going for you, and of course the Rebel at Oak Lawn Park. So we got a lot of stuff to cover, that's for sure. Got some news though to cover with you as well. CZ Rocket has been retired at age 10 after a sixth-place finish. He finished sixth, I believe, in a race on Monday, President's Day, at Oak Lawn Park. And so at the age of 10, good old CZ Rocket has been retired. But the big news, sad to report, that Echo Zulu, the champion 2-year-old filly of 2021, was euthanized on Sunday at the Southern California Veterinary Clinic after sustaining a leg injury in her stall. She's trainer Steve Asmussen passed along that news on Monday. Echo Zulu euthanized, and we're sorry to hear about that. That's for sure. And as far as any of the other news is concerned, Sierra Leone is now the leading individual interest in the Kentucky Derby future book wager. When they closed that future book wager, Sierra Leone, the winner of who won the Risen Star Stakes on Saturday at the fairgrounds, was the individual lowest price in the Kentucky Derby pool number for the future book there. All right, well, we got a lot to cover, and we're going to do a lot more, so we're going to go to our first break, and when we come back, we'll give you your racing menu for today and start our coverage with our handicappers, so don't go away on this Wednesday show as we kick off another week here in Vegas in the fog, but we'll clear up. Don't go away.
South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our racebook is completely separate from the sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. There was racing on President's Day Monday, although Santa Anita and Gulfstream were both canceled. They did have racing at racetracks that don't normally operate on Mondays at President's Day, and of course that was Oak Lawn Park and Aqueduct. But big racing on Sunday was at Sunland Park. You know, they had the Sunland Park Derby, which held 20 points for the Kentucky Derby future book. Got to tell you, jockey Joel Rosario, who was at the fairgrounds on Saturday for the big races there, traveled to New Mexico for the racing card on Sunday at Sunland Park, and Rosario won three races at the fairgrounds on Saturday, a couple of stakes races there, and 4 wins at Sunland Park on Sunday. The first 4 stakes races that were held, he won 3 of the first 4 stakes races. In the Harry Henson, Rosario guided Flying Connection to win for Todd Fincher, and that was Fincher's second win on the day. Fincher also won the earlier stakes race, the Red Henneman Mile, with the Community Leader. That was a dead favorite, paid at $2.80. The winner, Flying Connection, and the Harry Henson paid $2.10. So Fincher had 2 of the big, filthy favorites that won easily at Sunland Park in those stakes races. The Harry Henson goes to that one with Rosario. Then in the Bill Thompson Memorial, Rosario piloted Jackson Traveler to win for Steve Asmussen at 540. And then Rosario came back in the Sunland Park Oaks to win with Recharge, his third stakes race, and his fourth win on the day, four in a row, actually. Well, it was his third in a row. Steve Asmussen's second win on the day. Recharge paid $660. And then in the Enchantress Stakes, Rosario popped off his fourth consecutive win with the $3 win price on Paying Off My Market. That was his fourth stakes win in a row for Rosario. That was also trained by Todd Fitcher, so Fitcher won 3 races there. So between Rosario and Fitcher, they just manhandled all of the big stakes races at Sunland Park. But the Sunland Park Derby was won by the Southern California Invader, trained by Phil D'Amato. That was Stronghold for Antonio Frisu, paying $440, outrunning A Lot of Luck and Curlin's KO. Lucky Jeremy, who finished second. Curlin's KO was third in that race. Got 20 Kentucky Derby points there. So on Sunland Park on Sunday, big racing there for Rosario and Fitcher, that's for sure. All right, time to get to the menu of racetracks available today in the racebook, simulcast centers, and racetracks around the country. We remind you, as we always do, the first post times we broadcast on this menu are that of the Pacific time zone, because we are in the Pacific time zone here, and these will be the first post times that roll out in our race books here, right here at the South Point. We are in the Pacific time zone. If you're listening on any other platform that we have out there worldwide, we know you're in different time zones. So pay attention and adjust your time zone, wherever you're at, to the Pacific time zone so you don't miss anything. Of course, like I miss mom and dad, okay? First post times are Pacific. We begin now with Parks Racing. Parks Racing has a Pick 5 jackpot carryover, $28,640. Their first post time at Parks Racing is at 9:05. Next comes Gulfstream Park. Gulfstream Park, they tell us they're off the turf today at Gulfstream. No turf racing today at Gulfstream because they have been saturated by a lot of rain, and you saw it over the weekend. So that turf course is still trying to dry out. No turf today at Gulfstream. First post time for their racing card is at 9:10. Their Pick 6 jackpot carryover is a good one, though. $286,375 in the Pick 6 jackpot carryover today at Gulfstream. Next will be Tampa Bay Downs. Their first post time is 9:30 at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, of course, got a lot of the rain over the weekend as well. Their Pick 6 jackpot carryover, $6,019 at Tampa Bay today. Their first post time, again, 9:30. Then we go to Mahoning Valley Racecourse. Mahoning Valley's first post time is at 9:45. Their Pick 6 jackpot carryover, $12,749. 9:45 first post at Mahoning Valley. Turf Paradise in Phoenix, Arizona will kick in next. Their Turf Paradise program will start at 11:55. Their Pick 6 jackpot carryover is $6,501. First post time, Turf Paradise, 11:55. Then we go all the way to 2:55. That's the next post time there, Turfway Park. Turfway Park will kick in at 2:55. Their Pick 6 jackpot carryover is a good one, $52,888. First post time, 2:55 there. Then we have Penn National. Penn National will start their racing for the first post time at Penn National today at 3 p.m. And then we wrap it up with Delta Downs. Their first post time is 3:15. And finally, Charlestown. Charlestown races with a Pick 6 jackpot carryover of $57,440. Their first post time is at 4 p.m. at Charlestown races today. And that is the racing menu for today. And it looks like all the racetracks, at least as far as weather is concerned, is not going to be a problem today. But what the weather had done to some of those racetracks will still be lingering on to today. All right, now time to go to Jonathan Hardoon standing by. Jonathan, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How are you?
I'm doing fine, my man, and I know that your soapbox is going to consist a little bit of also how one set of racetrack can run on off racing and sloppy racetracks, and another one just refuses to do it. And when a lot of people think, well, it's the HISA regulations. Well, HISA covers a lot of those tracks and Southern California. I know that Fairgrounds and the tracks in Texas are still having their battles with HISA, but these other tracks are already under HISA regulations, and people are saying, what's going on?
It's ridiculous. Southern California just refuses to run. If you spit on the ground, they're canceling racing, and it's just crazy. I mean, on Sunday, they were running at Gulfstream. The rain was coming down sideways. It was raining so hard. They didn't miss a beat, Ralph. They ran every race on time. They didn't have any delays or anything. New York, they had a snowstorm Saturday night or Friday night into Saturday. They had about 5 inches of snow. They ran Saturday, ran the whole card, no problems. Snowed during some of the races. Same thing at Fairgrounds. Every track seems to run on off tracks except for Southern California. And the reason being is because they need to get it like a unanimous approval from 4 different entities, to run. And you're not going to get 4 people to all agree on anything, much less being able to run. So all they're really doing is hurting themselves. They're hurting the product. It sets everything back, and people aren't happy.
Well, it sets back a few things. One, the players don't have races to bet, so they're going to other jurisdictions. I know that Aqueduct had a big day, and so did Oaklawn Park had one of their biggest days in Handle on Monday because there wasn't any other racing going on. That don't run on Monday. These are the 2 tracks that did run because it was President's Day. It was a holiday. A lot of people had off and wanted to do something. And then, of course, you have, the fact that if these horses can't get out on the racetrack, they got to do more than jog if they're going to be fit enough to run in races and not hurt themselves in the races. You can overextend yourself if you're not fit enough to run in races. And so the trainers, are needing more time to train their horses back into shape, or at least to get up to snuff again from maybe regressing a little from just jogging and walking. And that'll cause smaller fields in races when we do get to race.
Yeah, not only that, but by Santa Anita setting this precedent of not running when it rains, if they ever decide to run when it rains, and God forbid a horse breaks down or has an accident or something, they're all petrified. Now they're overcompensating, and that's the worst thing you could do. If you play careful and cautious, that's when you're going to get hurt. So they're in a tough situation, and again, by continuously canceling these days, they're only making it much harder.
Now, I will say that they're going to try to compensate the horsemen by running extra races on the days they will run to try to make up for those races that were canceled on those days. But you got to have the horses to run in those races.
Yeah, and if they're not able to train, they're not going to enter. So it's really a catch-22, and it becomes a big mess. Just hopefully all this rain will, be gone soon, and they'll get back to normal. But it's just it's a bad situation they're in for.
All right, well, we got Sierra Leone and is at the top of the Kentucky Derby point standings now with 55 points, courtesy of that win over the weekend at Fairgrounds, and that's Chad Brown's horse. And I know that Brad Cox had a winner as far as horses that are pointing towards the Kentucky Oaks. We got another big racing weekend this weekend at Oaklawn Park with the Rebel Stakes. I got to tell you, the Rebel Stakes purse is $1,250,000, and it kind of surprised me that Baffert was thinking about going to that race with Muth, knowing full well that if the horse did win that race, wasn't going to get any Kentucky Derby points because he's banned there. But getting a winner's share purse of $1,250,000 ain't shabby. But I understand he's not going there now, and we actually do have the field for the Rebel Stakes as well. And by
the way, Ralph, previous years he shipped in there and had a lot of success. So It is surprising seeing a Baffert horse because, again, he uses this race, and obviously something must be up maybe with Muth. Maybe he had a setback, maybe because he can't train because of the weather. Who knows? Whatever it is.
That could be. He was in Southern California, right?
Yeah, that could be the reason, but obviously he's not ready to go, so he's not shipping anything there, which I found surprising. Timberlake, who drew the 7 post, is the 6-5 morning line favorite. It's great. They put the odds up already. They have 13 horses entered, so it's going to be a good race, and we do those races on the day they run on Saturday. I'm sure we'll discuss some more of it on Friday, but let's see what happens. It's a full field. Timberlake's coming off of a layoff. He was last seen in the Breeders' Cup, so he may need one. I don't know if he's going to be squeezed to the max. And again, we try to beat these short price horses in their comeback races because that's when we think they're the most vulnerable.
That's absolutely correct. But, there is a balance now between not getting the horse too cranked up for this race because the target is the first Saturday in May, obviously. But there also
But
is
you also need the point.
you need the points, and there's also the balance of $1,250,000 up there that ain't too shabby either. So I think we'll get an honest run out of these horses, that's for sure. For those folks listening, we'll go over real quick. I'll go through the field. Number 1 is Carbone, Isaac Castillo for Steve Asmussen. The 2 is Northern Flame, Julien Le Peru for Kenny McPeek. The 3, Common Defense, Brian Hernandez for Kenny McPeek. The 4 is Tejan Pass, Chris Landeros for Peter Miller. Peter Miller's got Tejan Pass in a big long, but it is a long shot at 30-1. The 5 is Magic Grant, Harry Hernandez for Eddie Milligan Jr. The 6 is Dematic, Tyler Calf-Leon for Steve Asmussen. The 7 is, as you said, Timberlake. Christian Torres is going to ride for Brad Cox as the 6-5 favorite. The 8 is Next Level. Jose Rickmail, I guess, Riquil, I guess. I'm sure I screwed up that jock's name. Pardon me for doing that. For Keith DeSormo. The 9 is Lagnos. Keith Asmussen for Steve Asmussen. He's got quite a few in that race. The 10 is Mena. Francisco Arrieta for Steve Hobby. The 11 is Just Steel. Another horse that a lot of people are looking at in this race. Ramon Vasquez for the coach, Dwayne Lucas. The 12 is Woodcourt. Emmanuel Esquivel for Capriano Contreras, and the 13 is Time for Truth. That's Rafael Bejarano for Ron Marquette, and a pretty contentious field, I think. I know there's 2 horses that kind of stand out there, but any horse is liable to jump up and win this thing.
Absolutely. And the same thing goes for the Honeybee. I guess that's the Philly version. That's the 9th race. You're getting another full field there. Lightly raced horses. Should be a big day at Oaklawn on Saturday.
Yeah, the Honeybee has a field of 10 in that race, and the 7-5 favorite in that race is your man Brad Cox is sending out West Omaha with Christian Torres. Looks like between that and Band of Gold for Kenny McPeek with Brian Hernandez riding are the 2 that are going to probably take most of the action in that race.
Well, he scratched West Omaha on Saturday from the Rachel Alexander Fairgrounds, if you remember, and he opted for that spot coming up on Saturday.
And I guess he made a good decision there because it looks like she's going to be she's not going to have much competition in the race. And the Razorback, this is for the older horses, the 4-year-olds and up, the handicap division, also drew an overflow field of 13 in that race. So, they're running at Oaklawn, that's for sure. And amazing that they run at Oaklawn, again, on off tracks or whatever. And guys are down there, they're training, they're running, the fields are big there. And they're look at they had a record handle on President's Day, and they don't even have a turf course.
And you can't treat the race tracks there. They're not allowed to use any chemicals or anything because supposedly it's a historic whatever. I don't know. But they are not allowed to use any chemicals or anything in the track. So they're just running like it used to be. When a track is wet, it's sloppy like the good old days, and they don't seal them. They just race over them, and that may be the right answer.
Well, I know that they'll be kicking in with our Aqueduct a little bit later on. I know you have a selection or 2 for us from the Florida racetracks, Gulfstream and Tampa for today. But just taking a look at what happened Monday at Aqueduct, I guess Ruben Silveira had a big day there. He won 3 races on the card at Aqueduct. And the winner, he won that race. He won the first and last races. And there was a horse that in the race that was declared a non-starter after the horse did not get away good. I guess the starter was still holding the horse in the 7th race, and that horse didn't go.
Actually, he reared up and pushed the starting gate open as the gate sprung, so he was declared a non-starter. And one good thing about NYRA, they do the right thing in that situation. There are a lot of jurisdictions that you literally have to see the guy holding on with both hands, or they're not going to scratch the horse because I guess they don't want to lose it. But in New York, they have no problem scratching them right away, and it's the right thing, and you're protecting the players, and that's good news.
Yeah, absolutely. No question about that. And by the way, Yeah, there are some racetracks that the horse would have to drag the starter out onto the racetrack before, they would think about scratching that horse. By the way, the betting public was right on target at Aqueduct on Monday. Highest priced winner of the day paid $13.20 there, that's for sure. And, of course, on Sunday at Aqueduct, the Matty May was won by My Main Squeeze. Mike Maker trained. Jose Lascano rode that one, and that was the favorite there at $3.30. So it was, some great racing on Sunday as well around the country. And, of course, Santa Anita did run on Sunday. They actually did run there. The Spring Fever Stakes was won by Big Pond, Frankie Dettori's third win of the day. And Tim Yakteen was trained. That horse paid $4 even. We had winners, our handicappers, Rich Yang and John Lindo, both came up with winners at Santa Anita on Sunday. All right. Well, anything else on your Yeah.
Yeah, good for Joel Rosario. I was happy to see him win 4 stakes on at Sunland on their last big day. And, you had a slow year last year for Rosario, maybe not for many riders, but it wasn't a Rosario-type year. And at least this year he's starting off by having a big day in Sunland. That's certainly good for him.
Well, I mean, that was amazing. I was watching those races, and, I mean, they were favorites, and they looked like they did, kind of lay over.
You still got to win.
You still got to win the races. That's right. Because in one of the races, Antonio Frisu was riding a horse from Southern California, bet down, I think, the 1-5, 2-5, something like, and didn't hit the board. So, that happens there. We'll wait and see about the Sunland Park Derby winner. A nice win there, but I don't think there'll be too many conversations with him in it as far as the Kentucky Derby. All right, well, we need some money. We got to start off the week here, buddy. So what are you going to do for us?
Okay, let's look at Gulfstream's 7th race today. 5 furlongs on the Tapeta, and I love the number 5 horse in here on the dot. This is a 3-year-old filly who was claimed out of her last start by trainer Safi Joseph. Freshened her up, drops her down in company. This horse has 4 career starts, 2 on synthetic, 2 on dirt. Synthetic races are good. I like the rider switch today to Jose Ortiz. I like the 6-1 on the morning line. Number 5 on the dot wins today 7th race out at Gulfstream Park.
Well, he better be on the dot for the players, that's for sure. 7th race at Gulfstream, number 5. And, oh, yeah, that guy, Jose Ortiz.
Not Irad, Jose.
Jose.
The other half of the entry.
I'll take him just as well. That's just fine. Bro Jose does a good job as well. That's for sure. All right. And then where do we go next?
Let's go to Tampa. Look at their 8th race, 7 furlongs on the main track. A full field of 10. I'm giving you a 3-1 shot, but he's a pick 6, pick 5, pick 4, pick 3 single. Number 10, Silver Style. 4-year-old gelding from the Juan Aragata barn. Jose Batista aboard to ride. This horse has been gelded since his last race, sitting on a big effort today. Number 10, Silver Style, wins the 8th race today out at Tampa Bay Downs.
At 7 furlongs, the 10 horse is going to get the money. Jonathan says in the 8th race at Tampa Bay's 8th race, number 10, is the play Silver Style. And by the way, Jonathan, just for an FYI, talking about that gelding, what about CZ Rocket? 10-year-old, and they finally decided to retire him after a not-so-good race, a lackluster race on Monday at Oaklawn.
I could save my tickets. It's his last race, and I bet him, and he lost. So
he retires with a record of 13 wins from 46 starts, earnings of $2,144,691. Not too bad for a horse that was claimed by Peter Miller for $40,000.
What a terrific training job, and this horse has been nothing but consistent over the last couple of years. Obviously, he's lost a step, and they're doing the right thing by the horse.
Yes, they are doing the right thing by the horse, and that's really nice to see. All right, my man, we'll let you get back to starting to sharpen your pens, your pencils, I should say, for the weekend races, that's for sure, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks, Ralph. Stay safe and be well.
All right, don't forget, Johnson's got full sheets, Gulfstream and Tampa Bay for today. All right, we'll be back with Rich Yang. We got to talking about sharpening pencils. We got to start and sharpen up for all those teams that'll be playing March Madness here in March, and we're getting right through February, so we got to get kind of up to snuff on college hoops, and Richie will try to do that for us as well. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Born from the tragedy of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation is committed to helping our nation's heroes and their families in their darkest hours. When a first responder or veteran doesn't return home and leaves behind a young family, Tunnel to Towers supports them. The foundation pays off their mortgages and lifts their financial burdens through their Gold Star Family Home Program and Fallen First Responder Home Program. Through their Smart Home Program, catastrophically injured veterans and first responders regain their independence with a mortgage-free home, specially adapted to meet their unique physical needs. Tunnel to Towers also provides housing assistance and services to our nation's homeless veterans through their Homeless Veteran Program. They are helping more than 2,000 in 2023 because no veteran should be living on the streets of the country they signed up to protect. Join Tunnel to Towers on its mission to do good and never forget 9/11 or the sacrifices made by our nation's heroes. Donate $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our racebook is completely separate from the sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas for this Wednesday show as we crank it up another week, covering the great sport of Kings, horse racing, and, of course, sports as well, because we are in Las Vegas, Nevada, Las Vegas style. All right, let's go to Rich Ang standing by. Richie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ralphie.
Just want to tell everybody out there that not only do you keep track of the sports for us, the top, conferences, et cetera, as far as that's concerned, but you're also continuing to do your horse race handicapping. Gave us a nice winner on Sunday.
Yeah, Big Pond got the job done, turned the tables on the Ruby horse, and beautiful ride by Frankie Dettori. But, think about being, when I moved to Vegas here 25 years ago, Ralph, and is I love betting sports, and in particular, I really love betting on futures, whether it's on football or basketball or baseball.
Well, if you have a thought and you think that a team's going to go well, that I think is a good value place to be, although you have to tie up that bankroll for quite a while. It does pay off when you're right. And looking at college hoops, there's just so much to cover with college hoops, especially on any given day. You got a full rack of college games that are played, that now we start looking at the obviously the college teams, because they're going to be a part of the great March Madness that happens here in for 2 weeks going. It'll be nothing but March Madness, March Madness, March Madness. And we got to get up to snuff on that. The only thing I know is by watching, the team Connecticut, which I guess is the number one ranked team, they look to be solid.
Yeah, Connecticut is the number one ranked team, but if people watched the game last night against Creighton, UConn went to Omaha and played number 15 Creighton, and they got blasted 85-66. But this game is like a litmus test for how games might turn out in the NCAA tournament. And the fact that UConn lost by 19 points because Creighton was just unconscious shooting from 3-point range. Creighton hit 14 of 28 3-pointers. That's 42 points just from a 3-point range. UConn was 3 out of 16. So if you just do the quick math, that means Creighton shot 11 more or connected on 11 more 3-pointers than UConn. That's 33 points. So, when that happens in the tournament, that's why upsets happen. For example, how Fairleigh Dickinson beat Purdue. Fairleigh Dickinson was able to hit their 3-point shots. Purdue did not.
It was raining 3-pointers, that's for sure. Quickly, you have a couple of teams to look at for futures?
Well, yeah, I just want to review from last week. I mentioned teams that I have in my pocket, and it starts with UConn. at 18-1. That's my best bet right now. I also have Kansas at 22-1. I have Marquette at 28-1. Michigan State at 50-1. And I also have San Diego State at 150-1. And, the thing from these 5 teams from last night, Ralph, 3 of them played and 3 of them lost. Connecticut lost to Creighton. Michigan State lost at home to Iowa 78-71. And San Diego State lost to Utah State by the score of 68-63. Yeah. But, I'm not swayed by losing. The teams that they lost to are very good, all tournament teams. Utah State, Iowa, and Creighton are all going to be in the tournament. Yeah. So sometimes when you lose at this point in the year, it makes the job easier for the coach because he can point to his team and say, hey, if you don't show up with your A game, anyone in the country can beat you.
Well, and this year there isn't one or two big standouts. I mean, it's pretty evenly across the board, even with the top teams like you're talking about. That's for sure. So it's going to be an interesting March Madness, and you're going to keep us posted on a lot of the things out there, like some of these nice juicy future book bets as we move along. Rich, I don't know if you have a pick at all today for horse racing, but if you don't, we'll let you go and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, no horses today, Ralph, but I just want to put a heads up that the selection show for the tournament is March 17th, Sunday, March 17th. So you kind of got to work backwards as far as trying to buy teams. The 17th, you'll find out what all the points are. Right now, the top 4 number 1 seeds are UConn, Purdue, Arizona, and Houston. Those are the 4 number 1 seeds, according to Joe Lunardi in Bracketology on ESPN, and he's usually spot on. So that's a barometer anyway.
All right. You got it, my man. Thanks a lot. We will talk to you tomorrow.
Hey, thanks, Ralph. Good luck, everybody.
All right. That's Rich Eng giving us an update on the hoops. And now coming up next, we got John Lendo standing by giving us an update on Southern California. And Jerry J is going to give us another thought about betting strategies. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Casino is the perfect place to be. Our racebook is completely separate from the sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
The Race Day Las Vegas Show, the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. I want to remind everybody that Saturday, at least here in the Pacific time zone, you'll have to pay attention early in the day. Hopefully we'll have either streaming or TV coverage somehow or another on our networks, our racing networks here from the Saudi Cup. The Saudi Cup will be run on Saturday at the King Abdulaziz Racecourse. Post time is set for 9:40 a.m. Pacific time for this $20 million race, a mile and 1/8 on their dirt course. And the horses in the race are Carmel Road, Crown Pride, Defunded has been entered, Derma Sodagati, Hoist the Gold, Isolate, Lemon Pop, Michiko Herrero, National Treasure, the winner there of course, the Pegasus World Cup, Power in the Numbers, Saudi Crown, which was the winner of the Louisiana Stakes at Fairgrounds for Brad Cox. Senor Buscador is in it, who was second in the Pegasus World Cup. Ushba Tesoro, White Abarrio, who was the winner of the Breeders' Cup Classic, and Scotland Yard. That's going to be a hell of a race there. Hopefully we can get to see it on TV and certainly report on it as well. Now go to John Lindo standing by. John, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. Yeah, they're going to draw the official post positions for the Saudi Cup and the Saudi Derby in about 10 minutes, right at 8 o'clock our time.
All right, but the horses that we mentioned have been entered in the race.
Yep, that's correct. And we'll see what the official posts are. And I think Fox Sports is the network that's going to cover the races on Saturday.
Oh, great. That's good to know. And of course, Defunded, who, used to be an American horse, was bought, and now he's part of that Saudi group there. So, we got a little thought about that, but it's going to be interesting to see Saudi Crown, Senor Buscador, and White Barrio go at it. That's going to be a lot of fun, that's for sure.
Yeah, good group from the USA, and again, those Japanese horses, they've done very well over there in Riyadh, so they're ones to watch.
Dermot Sadegati, I'm kind of interested to see how he runs as well, because he had some impact here in America when he was here, that's for sure. What's going on in Southern California?
Protocols, that's what's going on, Ralph. I tell you, you guys were talking about it earlier. We saw that Gulfstream Park, which is owned by First Racing, was able to hold and successfully race over a safe track when it's floated wet. We've seen them do it up in Laurel and Maryland. They own that track. But when it comes to Southern California, we're not even allowed to train on it. And it's a problem that has to do with a lot of the regulations out here. But, I don't see the racetrack going to bat to try and, hey, look, we've shown we can do this. And I don't see HISA getting involved. They're the horse racing integrity and safety, and you don't see them doing anything about uniform standards for track condition in order to race. We see them trying to put all these uniform medication rules in, but there should be some kind of standard as opposed to just these guys, yeah, you can, no, you can't, because it's suffocating the Southern California racing industry to death. It really is.
I thought that HISA was devised to try to bring uniformity to regulations, not only for drugs or for any other thing in horse racing that is anywhere near something that comes under the umbrella of safety. This would be, yet their first run at it with as far as the track conditions, and like I said, forget about the two tracks that are still arguing and contesting them in court, but there's other racetracks that are under the HISA umbrella that raced from snow to sloppy tracks to muddy tracks, and you get to Southern California and no racing.
No, you're exactly right. That's the problem, and I agree with that. The horsemen have to have a chance to train these horses. Once again, they were not able to train Monday. They did not train Tuesday. I got a text at 4:00 this morning saying that after further consideration, they're going to allow joggers only today from 8:30 till 12:00. And by doing that, that will enable the horsemen to gallop their horses on Thursday. So, but we're just seeing way too much of this. It seems like every week during this meet, 1 or 2 days during the week, the horsemen are not allowed to train, and you can't move forward if you can't train these horses.
And it's amazing too, because the players, we are so resilient when it comes to playing. All we want is action, and we want fair, good racing. And, they talked about the month of January, where because of all the cancellations, not only in Southern California, but weather cancellations all over the place, that's for sure, and short fields, et cetera, that the overall handle was for the month was down over 10%, yet the individual handle per race was up. So people are looking to bet, and, we got to give them product.
Exactly right. It's almost like when we were going on during the pandemic, there were only a couple of racetracks open and the handle went through the roof. The players will play if they have a product that they think is interesting. So, all you want is the chance.
Yeah, we all became aficionados at Fawner and
Will Rogers
when there was no other racing going on, that's for sure. What's a Linda report look like this week?
We were doing Gulfstream tomorrow, and then we'll be back to Santa Anita, knock on wood, for the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay, and of course you'll be taking a look at some of the key races, especially the Rebel at Oaklawn as well, won't you?
Yeah, absolutely. You have to grab a look at the good card there on Saturday at Oaklawn Park. Very surprised there is no Southern California representative in the Rebel this year. $1.25 million, and we don't have a horse from California going out for it.
Yeah, amazing. Well, so be it. That's for sure. Thanks a lot, John. We'll talk to you tomorrow, and say hi to the other half of the entry. I saw her sneaking in there behind you and waving at us.
Yeah, she ducked in and wanted to wave at you, Ralph.
Yeah, during the break, that's for sure. Tell her I said hi.
I will. Good luck today.
All right, you got it, my man. All right, now time to go to Jerry Jackowitz standing by with his get-up. Oh, he's got his T-shirt on. He's got his hoodie on, and he's got his, his cap. He's ready to go.
Thanks.
You're ready to go there, Jerry. All right, another session of betting strategies.
Well, I got a beautiful email from somebody out there, and trying to understand why, because I basically want people to play exactas and trifectas, and a lot of people out there are really interested in playing pick threes and pick fours. And he was complaining, or he was arguing with me that his long shots, he had as much chance to get his long shots in his spreads in the other pick, in the different legs of the pick three, as I would have in getting my long shot to come in second or third in my exactas or trifectas. And nothing could be more wrong than that.
Is that right?
And until you understand this aspect of the way horse racing works, the same mistake will be made forever. A long shot, let's say a 20-1 shot, will win once and come in second 2 or 3 times, and come in third 3 or 4 times for every time it wins. 20-1 shots win approximately 1 out of 20 times, if that. So when you look to catch your long shots on a leg, you need them to win. In the pick three, you need them to win. Whereas I don't. I need them to come in second or third if I'm playing exactas, or third if I'm playing trifectas. And that gives me 2 more opportunities. It gives me double the amount of opportunities to build randomness and value into my play. And that is, in essence, what we're supposed to be doing in horse racing. We're not supposed to pick winners. We're supposed to pick value and find a way to extract it from the race. A lot of people don't like that because they just want to go to a race and go through the 7, 8, 10 horses. Used to be 12, but whatever. And find the horse and just bet that horse, and their job is done. And that's fine. I'm no argument with someone doing that and going and betting that horse to win or win in place. But the real reality is that we're really supposed to find the value horse, and then we're supposed to build a model of secondary horses to bring into the play that give us a good chance to increase our value proposition and turn our 2-to-1s into 4-to-1s or 5-to-1s. You have to be able to get that from time to time. You have to be able to build that out.
Sure.
So that's what I wanted to get understood today, that long shots don't come in 1-to-1 ratio win to place. It's 1 to 2.5 and 1 to 3.5 ratio. So you get a lot more opportunity to take advantage of your long shots in the race that you're playing a key horse in the place and show positions.
Well, I know that I talked to a professional gambler a long time ago, and he said something to me that I kept in the back of my mind, and I use a lot all the time. And he says, you don't bet to win, bet to make money. And what he was trying to say is, if you always look at a proposition, whether it be in sports or horses, and bet the most logical one that you think is going to win, you're not going to make money, because those, you got to get, as you say, value. You got to bet to make money, not so much to win. And I thought to myself, isn't that contradictory? But the more I think about it, and the more you're talking about it, that holds weight.
Oh, no, he's absolutely right. He maybe didn't give you a roadmap to how you make money, but I mean, and it's a simple thing, Ralph. I can't tell you how many times I went to the racetrack. I'll tell you a quick story. And I looked at 2 horses, and I said, well, this horse has the better chance to win, and he's 8-to-5 than the 4-to-1, and I bet the 8-to-5. When I started betting the 4-to-1, I started to make money. I didn't win as often, but I started to make money. One of the best stories I have is my buddy Robert.
I know. Can you say that story for tomorrow? Because we got about 7 seconds before the music starts.
Yeah.
But that'll be a tease for tomorrow. You're going to be with us tomorrow, and you're going to tell us exactly that story that you are about to tell us right now, okay?
Love to.
Okay, thanks a lot, Jerry. Of course, Jerry doesn't have a power page today because his tracks aren't running. But he will be with us tomorrow, and he's going to tell that story. So keep in line, okay,
Yeah, it's a
folks?
good one.
All right, good. Wait, great tease for him tomorrow. In any case, we're wrapping it up today, and he's got one more thing to say. Go ahead and say it, Jerry.
Have a great race day, everybody.